episode 40 of CueBall's Rambles.
I tear the skin from the bone just to feel you. Baby, give it.
Punters, welcome back to the Rambles. Like I said, this is episode freaking 40. I'm going on to YouTube. This is episode 5 going on to all your major podcasting sites that you all know and love. Now, today, I have a returning guest. He's already lost his Rambles virginity. I decided to invite him back because he was unable to attend the last Pro Wrestling Karnage interview for reasons. And so I said, Guy, I want you in this. I want your views on Carnage. So I invite you back. So yeah, today I sit down with a co-promoter of Pro Wrestling Karnage, Sandbrook.
So weird to hear that. So weird to hear co-promoter. Mad. It's insane.
Yeah, but that's what it is, isn't it? Co-promoter, Coco Pops. Also, I don't know.
Coco Pops promoters, that's us. Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously, from the last time we spoke on the Rambles, not really much has changed, to be honest.
Not as far as the world goes. No. I've had one match since then during in between lockdowns. Well, I say I've had a match. I was in a ring. Let's just put it that way. But that's about it because the world's still insane. But we did announce Carnage in the interim between my last interview and this one. So we have some things to talk about as far as that goes.
That's good. Well, yeah, that's why you're here, because I would like to know your views on Carnage. Obviously, heard Danny's, heard Blanche's, heard David's, or whatever his name is now. I can never remember what his name is anymore. So the first question to you, Kai, is what does Carnage mean to you?
It means an opportunity, really. Without Carnage, there wouldn't really be a base for me, I don't think. So Carnage is really a place where we can invite people in wrestling, new, old, the future, to just come in and try and do something new. Because I don't want people to come in and do the same gimmick they've been doing for 20, 30 years. You know what I mean? When Blanche comes in, I don't want him doing the same things he was doing 20 years ago, and he doesn't want to either, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
So everything's changing, everything's going on, and it's mutating. Buy the merch. Teespring, Carnage. But buy it. Sorry, I'll do that about 5 times during this because
that's what we're here for. You know, you plug away, pal. You plug away.
Exactly. We got stickers and everything. But buy our merch. But yeah, so Carnage for me is literally the word mutation. Everything's all about change, and with Carnage, it was Danny, me, then Dav, then Blanche. We all wanted something different. We all wanted something new out of what we were doing, and together we sort of came up with this thing, and it took on a life of its own and has got a lot of people talking about it, which, as you know, me sitting in my bedroom at 18 years old, barely scratching the surface of 19 in just a few days. It's insane that something with my name attached to it has literally got so much buzz about it. It's insane. So yeah, it's still mad.
Yeah, and Carnage definitely has. It's got eyes on him. You guys are a talk of the town, as the saying goes, I think. And it's exciting. I mean, like I've said in a couple of people's episodes talking about Carnage and on Cayman's the Cayman show, cheap plug for him. I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited to see what you guys are going to come out with, not just because you booked me. I genuinely am excited to see. I'll put that out there. It all just sounds exciting, you know. There's 4 guys who've got different backgrounds in wrestling, and they've had different careers. They've been in it different lengths of time and all that, and it's, I don't know. There's just something about it. I don't know. I can't quite put my finger on what it is, but it's going to be good. Hopefully.
Yeah, we don't want the same old stale stuff that people do. Like that's not to put anyone down, but everything I see, I look at it and I've gone, oh yeah, I love that. But I've seen it here. Like we are gonna retread old ground. Like you can't really be original in wrestling as original as you'd want to be. You know what I mean? But there are a few things and a few ideas that we've all had that we've sort of mutated and sort of change into our own image that I think could be really exciting and could really get a lot of people talking and hopefully get a lot of people to sort of tune into our shows and come along and bring their family and make it a really fun environment, because at the end of the day that's what wrestling's all about. So that's all we're trying to do, is we're trying to build something fun and exciting, which I feel like, especially after the couple of years we've had now of COVID, that we're definitely going to need something like that. And I just hope we can contribute to that, really.
Yeah. Hopefully you'll be able to. All sounds promising. Everything I've been told or I've heard, all sounds promising to me. But you've got to see that. Hopefully that goes into effect. But only time will tell. So next question is, what makes you think Carnage can compete with the top Welsh promotions?
Well, it's hunger, I think. Complacency in wrestling is a death nail. And I got very complacent where I was before Carnage. Very, very complacent, to the point where I would just sort of take everything and accept it. So I think that really halted me for a while and I didn't progress. And I feel like a lot of promoters are like that, or can be like that as well. Where they sort of, my product's working, it works like this, these guys work, yeah, we leave it like that. For me, like, Carnage shouldn't be and can't really be like that, because we're bringing in a lot of guys from the past that we really think could help new talent like Jimmy Taylor, James Ellis, that we really want to bring in new talent after, so they can be the sort of bigger heads there. So we want Carnage to really be a stepping stone. I know Dan touched on that in the last thing. Like myself, I'm not expecting Carnage to be the top of the Welsh wrestling scene as far as, huge gates and, ticket sales, whatever. Like, obviously I want that, but in my mind, I know that that's a future goal, not a current goal. Current goal is to just sort of build new stars and build new people that people in England, Scotland, Ireland, in Europe can look at and go, right, we want him. Because if we see Jimmy Taylor or James Ellis or Sam Parker, working in Pro Wrestling Holland or WXW, good God, that's the dream. Like for me now, Carnage is me putting myself on the back burner. Like I've done what I wanted to do in wrestling. I wrestled. That's about it. I never really wanted anything else. So I wanted that, and I wanted to run a show, and I'm getting to do that with 3 guys that I respect the hell out of, and I'm getting to do it with a locker room full of guys that I think could really, really, really make Carnage something really special. So I'm not really looking to compete with anyone else, because Carnage is going to be something in its own right. Like I want to partner with companies. Like the dream is to have like a multi-company show, like have everyone sort of band in together. I know it's pretty much a pipe dream, but it's there. Whatever it is, I think there's probably underground. There's like 30 odd companies in Wales now, just all scrambling together. So, we have a 10-match card, triple threats, whatever. You know what I mean? I'd be content with that, but I'm not looking to conquer anything. I'm not looking to, outsell anyone and make anyone, sort of fall behind on sales or anything. I'm just here to really give people somewhere to go and give them a platform. That's really it. So to answer your question, what do I think Carnage can sort of contend with the best companies in Wales? We're a company in Wales, and I think that gives us a chance, because as long as we're going and as long as we're trying, then there's nothing really I don't think there's anything people can really say about that, because at the end of the day, Dan's been doing this for God knows how long. So has Blanche. me and Dav are coming up in this. I'm 5 years deep now. So, you know, I'm not going to contend. Yeah, exactly. You're looking at me like, oh, you're a baby.
No, I just went the completely wrong direction with that one.
Oh, God damn it. I clocked what I said now, and I'm like, all right.
Yeah, see, I catch him. I get him.
Yeah. Oy vey. I forgot what I was going to say now because you said that. But, you know, yeah, I'm 4 or 5 years in. I'm not going to be able to compete with someone with the experience of Ravenhill. Like, I wouldn't even dream of that. He's got what works. He knows what works, and he's really good at it. You know, so that's the pinnacle of Welsh wrestling. It's Welsh wrestling. And Carnage, if Carnage can be considered in the same breath as Welsh wrestling in 10, 15 years, I'm happy. If not, you know what? We had a hell of a roster to start off with, and I'm sure our roster is gonna expand and get better as the years go on, hopefully. So that's really it. You know, I'm not gonna hope to be the WWE of Wales. I want to be the Carnage, and that's it.
I like that. Yeah, good. Yeah, that's very good. You've all had good answers to that one, to be fair, you know, so I respect that. I love the fact you're all just like, you know, when we're not in this just for ourselves, we're in this for everybody. We want to help everybody. We want to help the newcomers of wrestling, the new generation, you know, and it's...
I'm never going to be, you know, main event in WrestleMania. And I've never really set out to do that. Someone once said, they messaged me and they said, let's be honest, you're not a wrestler. And to be fair, they're probably right. I'm not. I'm in wrestling because I love wrestling. And I'm going to stay in wrestling because I love the people in wrestling, for the most part.
Yeah.
You know, you do get people like Endless Lee who I want to slap in the face with a train. But, you know.
Yeah, what's up with him? Is Endlessly actually signed, and how? That's my next. Okay, so this is my question: Is Endlessly actually signed, and how did he convince you if he is?
Right. Here's the thing. Okay, we launched on, I think it was like September 6th or something. It was early in September, and then he started popping up on like the 18th, 19th, and immediately was just hounding us. Like, I remember Slam Down booked him. You know, all the power to him. And then CWF booked him, and we were like, oh, okay, maybe this kid has some potential. And then he just started hounding us. I think he sent us like 619 emails. He sent us about 17 gift hampers. About
That's nice.
Something. Oh, they were good gift hampers. I got quite a lot of chocolates. You know what I mean? Something to help me through the lockdowns.
Yeah.
But he's persistent. We'll give him that. He's persistent. He's trying. Bless him. You know, he's not going to be the heavyweight champion anytime soon.
Well, you never know. I mean, look at Rey Mysterio.
Yeah, but Rey Mysterio had this thing called being Rey Mysterio, and Endlessly hasn't got that. So, you know, we'll see how he goes on the pre-shows. We'll see how he goes, but he can have some dark matches. You get a dark match, kid. Here we go. But
there we go. That's fair.
In a Mark Daniels there. Grand. You get a dark match, kid. So
that's fair enough. Yeah, if that was me, that would be annoying the shit out of me. But you know, I suppose, you know, wrestling is a land of opportunity. Then, you know, I think that's what wrestling needs sometimes. I think, you know, promoters, don't know, because that's different. Sometimes you need an opportunity to show people what you can do.
Yeah.
Sometimes it goes over. Sometimes it can be bad to other people. But yeah, it's about the opportunities you give to people. I think that's what people remember the most. And why not? You know, you got this bloke, kid, whatever this person is, Endlessly kid is.
He's 19, so he's got a year on me. There we are.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I suppose just see what he can do, I guess, isn't it?
I mean, I'm not going to turn anyone away per se. Like, everyone's on the list. If we can't get you in now, we'll try and get you in later on, and that's it. But if you keep hounding us, odds are we're not going to bring you in immediately. So please don't send us 619 emails. 17 but you can send them. we'd happily accept the gift hampers. But yeah, Endless Days an exception to the rule in that, because he just annoyed us, and there we are.
Oh, fair enough. So obviously, I asked the other guys this because I wanted to, and I felt like it was necessary. You was with ROW for a while. You stated a couple of months ago that you are basically stepping away. So explain that. Why did you think you needed to step away from ROW? Was it for the good? Was it for the in your own words?
Well, I have nothing bad to really say about the opportunities that I had in ROW. I mean, you've seen me do all the jobs. I think the first things I did there was like ring crew and timekeeper and sound, music, entrance, lights. I tried to do it all as much as I could. And then, they said, right, we need a referee. So I went out and I refed. Didn't know how to ref. God bless them. God bless their souls. They just sent this kid out there like, count to 3. I'm like, fine, that'll do. I went backstage and people said, we want to see you do that again. So I did it many times after that. So I learned a skill through that. Ring announcing, I ended up falling in love with doing that through ROW. I wouldn't have loved it if I didn't get the chance to do it there. And obviously, they were the first company that trained me and the first company that let me wrestle. So I have nothing to say about the opportunities there. But there's always good things hidden in the bad things, or the bad things hidden in the good things. And after 4 years of being there and seeing some things that I found a bit questionable, I won't name names. I won't point out anyone because that's not my place. I'm done with them. So, I'm not going to throw anyone under the bus there. But it's like when you see the same thing happening over and over again with people getting opportunities just because they said the right things, it's like you can only take so much. And I'm someone who's very much stooped because I learned the hard way, because I've said this before in my last rambles. I came into wrestling and I was the biggest piece of shit person. Like, I had no respect for anyone. I'd like to think that's changed a lot since. Because I learned the hard way that that's not how you get ahead in this business. But I saw a lot of people that came in that were like me when I started and weren't willing to change and look at their behavior and sort of do that. And it just got to the point where I've been overlooked for 3 years, 4 years, whatever, in place of people who just sort of showed up, did a couple bumps, and got in the ring and wrestled. And like, that's not how I think wrestling should go. Like, if that's what happened with you and you trained like 5 sessions and you got a match, all well and good, well done, as long as you don't injure anyone and as long as you're safe, fine. But for me, it took 18 months for me to get my first match, and I think that's the best thing that ever happened to me. Because after my debut, I know a lot of people say first match ego. For me, my first match, my ego went because I realized I ain't shit. Like, I'm just a wrestler. Like, I'm a cog in a machine. Like, that's all. That's it. And that's my mentality to this day. But there are a lot of things there that didn't sit right with me for a while. And I'd left prior. I'd left in November 2019. But because Carnage wasn't a thing at that point, I didn't have anything to fall back onto. And I'd, in my past as a arrogant child, I'd pissed a lot of people off. So I didn't feel like approaching anyone because I thought, I'd get into some spats there. The majority of the people that I thought I'd annoyed, I hadn't, thankfully. So, I'm hoping that I can actually forge some relationships with Carnage through that. Through the people that reached out to me over that period. But I went back, had a few, good sessions there, had a few bad ones. But it's through the lockdowns that I've really had time to reflect on everything and go, okay, I don't want this for Carnage. Why am I accepting it here? And that's really it at the end of the day. I thank them for everything. Like, as I say, they've done a lot for me.
Yeah.
And without them, Carnage wouldn't exist. I wouldn't have met Danny. I wouldn't have met Dav. I wouldn't have reconnected with Aaron. So we wouldn't have sort of forged this out of it. So I have to thank them for everything. But,
Time to spread your wings.
Yeah, you got to take the good and you got to, realize and face the bad. And sometimes the good outweighs the bad. Other times you get crushed by it. And that's eventually I just didn't enjoy going there, and I didn't enjoy seeing a lot of the people. And I said, I gotta go. All the best to them. I hope they keep going, but they'll have to keep going without me, which isn't that much of a tragic loss to them, I imagine. But I'd like to toot my own horn a little bit and say I did some stuff. So yeah, that's all I really have to say on that. Is some things change and others stay the same.
That's fair enough. Couldn't have put that any more politely or respectively, So yeah, good job on that one, and that's a good answer. So roster reveal. You got loads. You had loads of people.
Got a lot,
Yeah. Your latest reveal signee is I want to say Jimmy Taylor. Is that right?
Superstar Jimmy Taylor, yeah.
Superstar Jimmy Taylor. Who is he? Because I don't know him, and I'm sure people watching this, the dozens and dozens watching at home, don't know who Superstar Jimmy Taylor is.
Jimmy's part of the new. Let's call it. Let's steal from WWE CW 2008 here and go. He's part of the new talent initiative, and Jimmy's trained for a while. He's really, he's had a few setbacks, a couple of injuries here and there that have really put him on the shelf for a while. But through lockdown, he's had time to heal and rehab and make sure that he's okay. Thank God. I know he's someone who enjoys a little bit of DDPY. So his body's quite attuned now to that, which hopefully means that when he gets in the ring, he's flexible and is, less perceptive to the damage that he once was. Fingers crossed for him on that. But he trained, I think, I want to get this right. I'm sure he trained in Welsh wrestling and then moved over to RIW then later on. That's where we met. And he's a really, really nice guy. Like, I know people say, oh no, he's a lovely guy. He actually is. He genuinely is. And he is a really devoted family man. Like, I think you've seen the contract signing. He had his niece sign the contract with him, which might mean we have an opponent for Endless League. We'll see. But yeah, Jimmy is new blood, who I think could really be someone for the crowd to get behind and to really support and cheer on and see him through. But only time will tell. But I'm rooting for him personally. So
have you given him a contract because he's a lovely guy, or was there actual potential?
No, I knew you'd ask. I don't want to divulge too much. I don't want to give it away. I don't want to give the guy away. But no, I've seen him train, and I've done a few training drills with him. And as you know, I am a very chain guy. I like to do the technical.
Yeah.
And I did that a lot with him. And he was doing things that I was going, oh wow, that's clever. And when you can make someone go, oh, that's what I think is the best thing.
Okay.
Because like if he's on a show and he starts busting out these things, at least 5-6 people in the crowd are going to go, oh, well, that's new. Oh, that's smart. That's clever. And I love that aspect of it. So that's why I was pushing for him. But I know Dan was pushing for him because he's very respectful, and in the ring he knows where to be when and why he's doing this, why he's doing that. And the same with Blanche. And then I think Dav's only met him a few times. So we showed him a couple of videos and clips of him in training. And Dav went, we'll give him a shot. So that's all it is. It's Carnage is, the saying is you're only ever as good as your last match. Well, Jimmy Taylor doesn't have a lot of matches to go on right now, unfortunately. So we're hoping that through Carnage he can build up a nice, suitable repertoire and then move forward and go elsewhere and really make a name for himself, because he loves wrestling. He really, really does. And I think that's a quality that a lot of people are missing out on, unfortunately. Yeah. So that can go for an answer on what is Carnage to you. It's love. everyone that we have has a passion for this, and I'm so thankful. Because there is nothing more soul destroying than being backstage with people who don't want to be there.
Yes.
And that's
You know it as well. You can feel it. You can sense it.
There's an energy there, isn't there?
Yeah, that's it. Energy.
And it's like, you know, that's why I'm really thankful with the entire roster that we've revealed so far and that we haven't revealed so far. That everyone that we have contacted or have contacted us really, really want to wrestle and really want to be a part of this. So, yeah, I'm really excited about that aspect of it. So, yeah, Jimmy Taylor is a passionate, respectful guy that makes me go, whoa. That's the synopsis of him.
Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah, sounds like he has potential. And yeah, nice. So, so every person you've revealed so far, is there a reason? Or is it because they are from Wales and it's just going to be cheap? You know, it's like, there's your $5, there's your $10. Or do you actually see everybody has something different they can bring to the table?
Well, you know, I'm looking at them all, and like you got James Ellis, who is one of the most fastest rising.
It's not James Ellis.
Sorry,
get it right.
James Ellsworth.
It's James Ellsworth.
You got James Ellis, who is one of the fastest rising guys on the British scene, on the Welsh scene. He's going everywhere. I think everywhere that I've been in contact with are like, oh yeah, we'll bring you in. Are you traveling up with James? I'm like, I've been around for double the time he's been around, and he's doing all this. And he's also, let's be honest, one of the best guys on the stick I've ever heard. Like, I pride myself on being able to cut a few good promos, but I don't think I've heard a single bad promo from James. And he is so arrogant in them. Like, I just want to punch him in the face.
That's his job.
Exactly. He's doing his job. I want to punch him, so he's doing it right. You and Big D, you scare me. So, you know, that's why I'm bringing you. No, I'm bringing you two in really because you are what I've seen a really good tag team. And you came in to CWF and tore the place apart and won the belts. So, like, come here and see if you can tear our tag teams up, because we've got a few of them. We got 7, who are two of the most hardest hitting guys on the British scene. We got BXB, who are veterans who could, you know, rip you apart limb from limb if they wanted to. You know what I mean? We got High and Mighty, who are high and mighty. We don't need a reason. They're high and mighty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm so glad we got to bring them in as well, by the way. I absolutely love High and Mighty. One of my dreams has always been to be in the ring with High and Mighty, you know, for a match. Because I've made them both corpse multiple times when I've been announcing or when I've been in the ring as a ref. So I want to see the damage I could do in the match with them. And also I know that I could learn a lot from them because Martin is one of the best technical wrestlers I've ever seen. And Mark is one of the best crowd workers I've ever seen in my entire life. So put them together and you've got magic.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? And I want to see if I can get a bit of that High and Mighty rub. But I'm trying to think, because we've announced so many people. I'm trying to make sure that I don't name anyone we haven't announced. So I don't want to...
For the sake of this video, would you be allowed to reveal one person you haven't revealed yet? Because obviously on the last Rambles, on the last Carnage, this is Carnage version 2, or no, whatever, they revealed High and Mighty. So could you reveal one person without getting
I haven't got permission to reveal any wrestlers or anything.
Any hints?
Well, we're in talks with a certain smart guy. Some might call him very superior-minded, to come in and provide commentary for us. I'm not naming any names, but it might be me. I'm not naming any names.
No. Who's me?
Exactly. But no, there's no one where I can really announce. All I can say is that I won't be wrestling as myself. I don't wrestle anymore. The Superior Mind is retired, unfortunately. Mainly because I sneeze and my back hurts now, and I can't be doing that. So I'm going to be sitting out, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to find something for myself to do, and I might be behind a microphone as a commentator for Pro Wrestling Karnage when we start up. We'll see. But that's the only real announcement I can give.
Okay.
You know, I might be on my own. I might not be. I probably won't be, but we're trying to get that second person in. Right now, we're in talks with a few people for that. One in particular that I'm really excited to work with. But no, there's no real wrestlers. I would message them real quick and say, can I announce him? But I think Danny would RKO wins me very hard. So I'll hold off on any real announcements. Because it's a team effort and we all have to okay everything. So unfortunately, I have to let you down on that. No real roster reveal on this one.
All good.
But at least now you know that you won't be seeing Sandbrook wrestling Carnage. So all you Sandbrook haters, you got what you wish for. You won't be seeing Mind Over Matter anytime soon. So
you should have put yourself down, man. You should have put yourself down. No need for it. Fuck the haters.
I can't put myself down. I mean, if I put myself down anymore, I'll be in the ground because I'm a short boy. So it's you know me. Come on,
Yeah.
But yeah, there's no roster members to reveal. There's one that I really want to reveal, and it's on the tip of my tongue because it's exciting and it's awesome and it's huge. But we're gonna say he's a ghost of wrestlers past, and that's all I can really say. So he has history with at least one of the four guys that you've seen interviewed for Carnage.
Mm.
So we'll leave it at that. And if that hint is too big, I know Danny's gonna tell me. So I'm taking a big risk here, CueBall. Okay?
Yeah. Well, cool. Well, I can't wait to hear it, even though I think I know who it is. But
you can tell
we just keep it. I think we should just go off the subject before we reveal it, just in case.
Yeah. I don't want to name him.
No, don't want to ruin it because Right. So my last question for you is: recently, it's come out in the wrestling world that WWE Vince McMahon is starting to send out fines for that good old the
super kick party. Yeah.
A thigh slap. So, as a promoter, what is your thoughts on the thigh slap? Is it necessary? Does it make something sound epic? Or what?
I started watching wrestling in 2008, and since then the thigh slap has been very, very prevalent, especially if you watch indie wrestling. It seems to be the thing. You see it on every show now. So like it was ingrained in my mind for a long time. Like if you're gonna kick someone, you gotta slap, but you don't. It's not realistic. It's not the sound it makes. Stop. Like if you are gonna do it, if it's ingrained in you and you can't shake it, by all means do it. Like it's your performance, it's your work. Do what you want. You know what I mean? We won't be fining anyone for doing a thigh slap. Because why? But personally, I prefer if people sort of avoided them and instead, made noise with their mouth, or just a grunt goes a long way in wrestling. You know what I mean? I've always been told make enough noise so that the granny with hearing aids can hear you in the back, and make enough big movements so that the same granny with bad eyes can also see everything you're doing. And that's how I've sort of been trained to do everything. And thigh slaps can help in that, I suppose. But to me, they just don't look realistic. They don't sound realistic, and they just get in the way. Because I just know if I was going to go for a thigh slap, I don't have much thigh, so I'm a miss, okay, and just make myself look stupid. So it's just like But yeah, thigh slaps. They if you want to do them, but if you can avoid them, please stop.
Yeah,
that's my PSA. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk.
Thigh slaps are overrated, overused, and just you don't kick somebody in the head, and
if you were in a real fight, like if you were in a street fight and you were kicking someone in the face and you slapped your thigh, people would look at you as if you need to go to hospital. Like, are you okay? Have you got a twitch? You know what I mean? Like, it's not a thing that people do. So like, it's always baffled me. Like, I'm waiting for the day where I see a football player go to kick a ball and thigh slap. I would like that. I'd pop for that. But,
that'd be quite funny, to be fair. But yeah, exactly. Oh my God.
But No, it's thigh slaps are unnecessary in my opinion. But again, it's part of wrestling now. So
Yeah. Yeah. So my questions are out of the way. We have fan questions. See, so when I announced that you was coming on again for the Carnage purposes, I think people sort of misunderstood, the sort of kind of thing. I wanted you on for the Carnage reasons. I want people to ask you about Carnage, not about your fucking life story, because we've already had that. We've already had your life story, which was on episode, I want to 27. I want to say.
it was in the 20s somewhere, I believe.
Yeah, somewhere. So if you want to listen to Kai's life story, go over to that one.
I do want to address that for a minute. In that, I said a lot of things that were of the time. They haven't aged well. I devoted quite a lot to places and people that I am no longer affiliated with that haven't aged all too good. So please bear that in mind when going back and reviewing it, because I did rewatch mine a few weeks ago and go, oh wow, that was so misguided. So yeah.
Yeah.
Most of the things that I say with a pinch of salt, apart from the life story things, please. Thank you.
Yeah. By the way, it's episode 20. I just
20. Okay.
Episode 20. There we go.
There was later than that, but okay.
Yeah, I thought it was as well, but no, definitely episode 20. I just went through my videos and it's all there. And while you're at it, whilst you're on my YouTube channel, just give me a cheeky subscribe. But we'll go into the subscriptions and all that afterwards anyway. So the first question is from your buddy, David Bond.
Ah.
Bond. Yeah, I had that joke last time. Shut up.
Fun story about him, actually, quick. His middle name is actually James. That's not a rib, that's legit. Just thought I'd put that out there so that if anyone backstage wants to rib him, my guest.
Nice.
David Bond, James Bond.
Yeah, I wonder how many times he's actually had that joke. I wonder, does he have any Bond girls, do you reckon?
Oh man, he actually told me my middle name's James, and I full on, I gave him a high five. I actually had to applaud her and be like, this is memeing. You memed your son. You've condemned him to a life of being a meme, and I love it.
Fair play to David's mum. So his question to you is, what's your favourite wrestling moment you've been part of?
Announcing Carnage. As cringe as it may be, the outpouring of support we had as soon as we announced that was insane. If you're counting in ring, my favorite moment is probably when I cut my first promo on a show and denounced the name Kerry Everett, the not so well remembered first iteration of the Superior Mind. When I denounced that promo is still mentioned to me today. People quote me from that today. So that, as far as actually doing something, that was really cool for me. But my favorite moment in my time in wrestling is definitely announcing Carnage, because I never imagined in a million years that I would be running a company, or at least helping to run a company. So when that became a reality, it was my mind's blown. I was in my nan's kitchen just crying about it. Yeah, I'm so cool. I'm such a badass. But yeah, I am an adult, I promise.
Yeah, okay. So we did have a bloke, I still don't know how you pronounce his last name, and he's actually asked me this as well. So
I asked him if I could get a sneak peek on how you pronounce it, but he
I think I know, because somebody has actually said to me how you pronounce it, but I can't remember, because he's actually got a thing. He messaged the page after there's one Rambles I did, and he messaged my page asking, every time you do a Rambles, I'm going to post on there until you get my last name right. And I was like, all right, well, fine. Probably going to be there a while. So James Ioli.
I think it's Ioli or Iole.
Yeah, Ole. We're going to say James Ole. There we go. So what's your vision for Carnage as a promoter? Are you looking to revolutionize the sport or respect the foundations? Summarize, Jim Cornette or Vince Russo? Vince Russo.
All right. So first question, I think it's hard to revolutionize something without at least paying attention to the history of it. So, you know, I'm not going to change the rules of wrestling. I'm not going to change the way you look at wrestling per se. But I am going to look at it in a more theatrical lens because, you know, my background before wrestling was acting. And now I go to uni and I study theater and film, TV, and writing. So, you know, I will be planning stuff out as far as, you know, me and Dav will work together on planning stuff out and where cameras should be at any given time
Nice.
to make it feel a bit more cinematic. And I'm working on different things myself to try and get a more theatrical approach to it. I've talked to a few people that are interested in my ideas. And outside of Carnage as well, I'm going to use the Carnage name and model base sort of thing on a play and a TV script that I'm working on for my uni project. So, you know, it's my vision for Carnage is to sort of use the model of wrestling, use theater, use TV and film, sort of merge it all together and just see what we come up with. Because I think we can come up with something really special with it, but only time will tell, really. But yeah, the vision is to make it unique in some ways, but also respect wrestling at its roots and at its core. What was the second question you said?
To summarize Vince Russo or Jim Cornette.
I can't hear either names without thinking of the other, to be honest, because they're just so entwined, and they. Jim Cornette, because I have memories of watching Jim Cornette be a manager and hit people with that. Was it a tennis racket or was it a badminton?
Yeah, he calls a racket.
Yeah, exactly. He did a few things. Yeah.
Cringe.
Vince Russo you say Vince Russo and you think of the Brawl for All and you think of the stuff that we won't mention that he did with TNA. Like all due respect, like Vince Russo took wrestling in the way that I want to take it, in a, you know, on the surface of, you know, write it as you would something else. You know, don't write the matches, write the stories. But also, he did it wrong. Like he just took it in a completely batshit insane way. Like for the time, it was needed.
Yeah.
But you know, it's dial it down a bit, Vince. Come on. But yeah, Jim Cornette, because I'll be honest, I love hearing Jim Cornette just rant about things. I take great pride in just sitting back and just marveling at the phrases that come out of his southern mouth. Just random stuff. You just start spouting. I love it. I think it's the best thing ever. So yeah, Jim Cornette for me. Sorry, Mr. Russo, sir. Sorry, bro. But I think it's going to be Jim Cornette. I think he might be mad at me.
No, that's fair enough. I think, yeah, I'd agree with Jim Cornette because he is a wrestling historian as well. I mean, you know.
Have you seen the video of his room? I want it. I want to buy that. Like,
yeah, that's cool. It is cool as hell.
So cool.
I think I should try and get Jim Cornette on here. How cool would that be? I think that'd be pretty cool.
Get me in. I'd be a co-host. I get him in for Topic Thunder. I'll bring that back just for Jim Cornette. I love him.
Topic Thunder.
Like the stories he tells. It's just fantastic.
Steve-O Jones. You do a Vince McMahon and form your own corporation stable. What 5 guys are you bringing on board?
High and Mighty. They'd be my tag team. Because it's High and Mighty. Sorry BXB, sorry Seven, sorry Yeah and Scare. But it's Martin Grant and it's Mark Daniels. I have to bring him in because if I don't, I've been in a rumble with them and they've kicked the holy hell out of me. And I don't want that again. So I'll bring him in. That and again, what I said, technical and crowd workability is insane with them. I'm trying to think because every stable should have every stable should have a mouthpiece. So I'd be one of the 5 guys because I'd be the mouthpiece because I can talk for days. And then, you have a mid-card guy and you have a heavyweight guy. For me, anyway, that's how I would structure a perfect stable. So I bring in James Ellis as well. for that sort of, because we'd have to be on the mean side, I think. And James can go with the best of them. I'd have him sort of come in as our sort of second in command then, and then our big brash bad guy villain, sort of top guy. I just realized I was thinking of someone that we haven't announced.
Well, luckily you didn't say his name.
Luckily, I didn't say his name. You're correct. Correct. For the purposes of this, I'll make James Ellis the first in command. I almost stumbled then. I really genuinely almost stumbled then. Oh, wow. And I'd bring in Sam Parker then as my second in command, and James Ellis's singles main event slot, because then you've got the technical guys, you've got the powerhouse guy, because James is pretty strong, like he's a beast of a man, to be fair, and you've got the flippy athletic guy in Sam Parker, who could also kick your head off. So I feel like that's got the perfect balance. And if I had to sort of fold myself, I can't be in this, got to get someone else in, then I'd probably bring in someone like Blanche or Danny, to give a bit of experience in the corner of James or Sam, if High and Mighty aren't there for that match. So there we are. It's a very convoluted answer that I had to change on the fly.
Yeah. Next question from Steve-O is, who is your all-time favorite screen management figure?
I grew up with the Theodore Longs, the Teddy Long, the John Laurinaitis. I'm aging myself down immediately. People are like, wow, you're a fetus. So I grew up on them, but I'm a mark. I go back and I watch all the old stuff because I'm me. So it's between sort of Eric Bischoff and Vince McMahon. I'm counting them as one pick because they had very similar characters if you really look at them. And Jack, because you don't need an authority figure every week. I'm sorry, but you don't. Just bring him on for big announcements and when someone's getting sacked or someone's getting suspended, and you can be done with it. And they've done the balance with that with Jack Tunney really well. So I'd probably lean more towards Tunney because he wasn't there every week and he wasn't overused because it was a different time in wrestling entirely, really. So we'll go with Jack Tunney.
Chris Edmonds, did you enjoy making me think you were dying when Danny Owens put you through a door? I think we covered this on your first one, but for the sake of this video, please answer.
We won't be having any repeats of that in Carnage, hopefully, because to be fair, I watched it back and was like, wow, I scared a lot of people, like bad. Yeah. Wow. Cool. So yeah, I enjoyed it at the time. Looking back, I would have done it a bit differently. I would have made sure that you knew what was going to happen. First of all, because nobody told him. Nobody told anyone. I thought they had, so I didn't bother. But, so yeah. Message for future me. If you're going to do something stupid, let people know.
Fair enough. And last question by Daniel Thomas. What's your favourite match you've been involved in, and which is your favourite for the wrong reasons? And Johnny.
Yeah. So question one, favorite match that I've been in. That's really quite hard because I haven't had all that many matches, and I haven't had all that many matches that I wasn't the greenest person in the ring for. So, I mean, I'm still the greenest person in the ring, but let's be fair. And that's good because I'm only 4 years in. I need to improve. It's always the thing, But I don't know. I think me versus Johnny Royal at CWF is probably my favorite match.
Good match.
Just because it allowed me to go out there and actually show new people. Now, it was my first time out of my home promotion, so I was, getting there and really allowed to show people what I could do. And I viewed the recording back of someone in the crowd. I can't remember who it was. I don't know their name. But they said if this was bigger, he'd be everywhere. In reference to me, because I was, Steve-O actually messaged me about that match, and he said you were doing some stuff that were insane. You were doing this, variation on a hip toss. You were doing this leg scissor thing or whatever. why weren't you using this submission as a finish and everything, and like going over. So it's a match that I could improve on, definitely. Like, it wasn't a perfect match by any standard, but it was a really, really good, solid match, you know, to get myself. I mean, it got me brought back, you know, until the world stopped. I was going to go back in 2020, but we can't help that. But yeah, so that's my favorite match. And then favorite match for the wrong reasons is I think this is gonna pop Danny. But we did a kids party. And we were supposed to go. The person who was running the party wanted us to go 5 to 10 minutes. Of course, she didn't tell us that. So the promoter of the company that we were with, RAW, told us go 20. So we went 20 minutes at a kids party, right? And like, we knew this isn't going to be a straight up wrestling match, so we hammed it. We hammed it up good. Like, it was just over the top stuff. It was stupid. And there was, I think the finish was a Superman finger poke of doom. That's the full ham of how we went, right? So I did the ooh-ah, the whole Roman Reigns thing. I done the Superman punch setup. I stopped, poked him, he bumped, I beat him. It was a stupid thing. It wasn't being recorded. It was stupid. But during the match, I didn't know this until this point, but Mr. Owens doesn't like people touching this area of his body. So I sort of went to slap him, stopped, poked his nose, and when I say he punched me for real, I mean my head went there, my body stayed here. Because I just went, and that was one of my favorite moments. And I went, we also did a spot where his children got to chop meat, and the child that I was most worried for, like the biggest child, messed it up entirely. And then the one that I was sort of like, oh, he'd be fine, chopped the hell out of me, and really, like, it was a good one. So that match is great. If we can do stupid stuff like that in the mix of all the really good technical wrestling that we have in Carnage, not quite as stupid as that. I don't really want a finger poke or do Superman punch finish, each to their own. But if we can, you know, sort of mix one or two of those matches in every few shows, I think that's perfect. Because for the majority of the match, the kids were loving it until it went 20 minutes.
Yeah, I got bored.
But yeah, so that's my favorite match for the wrong reasons. And it's also the only singles match I've ever had with Dan, who has never beaten me, by the way. Danny Owens has never beaten me. And because I'm never wrestling in Carnage, he can't. So...
beef. There we go. You're steering the pot now.
I've beaten Danny Owens twice. We've been in 3 matches together, I think. I've beaten him twice. And another one was won by another person in the triple threat. So... Sorry, Mr. Owens, but you're just not good enough to outwit the superior mind. But there we are.
Nice way to finish as well. So, yeah, that was my questions out of the way. That's the fans' questions out of the way. Is there anything else you would like to promote, plug, shoot on, whatever?
Well, yeah. Pro Wrestling Karnage, obviously on Facebook. Pro_wrestling_Carnage on Instagram. And I should probably know the Twitter handle as well. I'm fairly sure it's the same as the Instagram one, if not a little bit different. It might be PWK Carnage. I don't know. I'm a writer. I don't do the twits. I'm sorry. I'm not a Twitter person. I'm sorry. I can do Facebook and Instagram very well, but Twitter is not a thing. So yeah, show some love on there. We've got a Teespring store, as I know, CueBall, you have yourself. We've got a lot of nice designs and logos there, done by the very talented Mr. David Bond.
You've dropped a new one today as well, I believe, a Budweiser-inspired one.
Yeah, I think that's the one we dropped today. I thought we dropped it 2 weeks ago. I'm not a salesperson at all. I really don't know what I'm doing with that. That's all down to the other. That's down to the other guys. That I'm just here to talk about it. But yeah, go check us out. Really, we haven't set up. I don't think we set up a YouTube channel yet. I might be wrong. Again, not the social media guy that I wish I was. So I don't know. But yeah, go on the page, check out all the roster announcements. Show them some love. Go give everyone a nice little like, share, and subscribe. I don't know if that doesn't work on Facebook, does it? I'm old. I'm 19 in 3 days, but I'm old. So yeah, basically, I'm rambling now.
This is why it's called CueBall's Radio Rambles, because we all ramble. That's why.
We really do. Go like the stuff. Go show.
There we go.
And Scare and Carnage and James Ellis, Jimmy Taylor, all those.
James Ellsworth. Yeah. Right. So that's it now. So Kai, thank you very much for coming on. Happy birthday for in 3 days.
Mhm.
You put on your timeline anyway. So that's been Kai. I've been the beer drinking, heavy metal listening, bald headed brawler, CueBall. We are on the road to 100 subscribers. So please subscribe to my channel, give it a like, give it a share. I'm excited. It's 100 subscribers nearly, but I couldn't give a fuck. I'm excited. Everything. Yeah. That's probably my favorite logo.
It's so cool. Next mutation. Buy the merch.
Buy the merch.
/Pro Wrestling Karnage.
Okay. Right. So yeah, bye Sandbrook. CueBall. Stay safe. Stay positive. #motherfucking yeah.
Yeah.